Today what I'm going to show you how to do is create a Google Calendar appointment scheduler. To do this, all you need to do is log into your Google Gmail from school, go to the upper right-hand corner to find the Google Apps 9-pin selector. From there you can find Google Calendar. Once you click on Google Calendar, you should see your normal Google Calendar, which is your account, which is listed down below. And next, in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see the little plus button with the Create there. We'll click on that, and you're going to go down to Appointment Schedule. When you click on Appointment Schedule, you're going to get a pop-up. It'll automatically kind of show you in your calendar a little red line what the current time is. You can kind of ignore that for now. First off, you just need to create a title, a meaningful title. So I'll put Mark Page. This is what parents will see, so it's probably a good idea to use the name that you use for your classroom that they're already accustomed to. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to select the duration of your appointments. For secondary, we use a 15-minute interval. I'm going to talk about breaks and lunch in a moment, or dinner, whatever it may be. The next selection down that you're going to have, you can scroll down here, is general availability. The first thing you're going to see is a drop-down box that says the options does not repeat, repeats weekly, or custom. You need to select does not repeat. Okay? From here, it's going to give you a date. You can go ahead and change that to whatever you want. If you click on it, it'll give you a selector. I'm going to say mine's going to start on Thursday the 26th. It will give you a time frame of when you're going to do it. You can go ahead and select inside the box. You can change this if you wish to by the minute if you want. So I could even do 5:01 is when it's going to end. Now Google is really, really smart. If you were to do a 24-hour clock and get rid of this, it will automatically put in the correct time for you. So it's pretty easy. What you want to do from there is you can add a date. Okay? And so I can now do the 27th, which is the next day. It'll automatically come up with the default. You can go ahead and change and modify those times as needed and add as many as you like. If you want to remove a day, you can go ahead and just click the remove a day. And if you need to add another period of the day, for example, if you're going to have a large break within the same day, maybe you're going to have a 2-hour lunch break, you can just go ahead and add another time if you want. But for this occasion, I don't believe we're going to do that. The next thing down is the time zone. And this is quite interesting because this is probably one of the only few complaints I ever get about using a program like this or even paid apps like Calendly or anything. If the parent has the wrong time zone set on their device, it doesn't matter what program they use, it's going to mess up the time thing. We will send instructions to ensure that the parents, well, if they read the instructions, will see that they need to verify that they're in the correct time zone. But for the most part, this was a non-issue in secondary last year. So just make sure you're in the right one. The next thing down that we're going to do is scheduling window. I highly recommend that you unselect these boxes because what this does is it says they can't add an appointment in so many days before, and they also so many hours prior to it being starting. You could actually do this one here if you don't want any last minute appointments. I strongly discourage this though because some parents they have to meet with the teachers, and sometimes Denise, who will be adding last minute appointments, will need to be able to do this. So I would just leave them off. The next thing you need to do is booking appointment settings. And this is the buffer times. We're not really going to do this. This is a little bit more complex, and this would be used for things like if you're having weekly reading times for students. This is a really advanced feature. It's really powerful, and it's really quite useful. But for this occasion, we're not going to use it. I would definitely, though, uncheck guests can invite others. We don't need this invite going out to people who can potentially mess up the data or the appointment slots. The calendars that it's going to go into, you're just going to go ahead and leave your main calendar, leave it as is. But I would go ahead and have check calendars for availability. It doesn't actually block a parent from scheduling an appointment, but I'll talk to you about that in a moment, how you can block out times. So I would just leave it as is. Next is co-hosts. This is a new feature. I'm not really sure how this would be applicable to us. However, if you're doing joint meetings perhaps with another teacher, like if you both share a class like Mr. Meadham and I do, you might want to do something like this. But for now, you do not have to do this. The second page, again, will kind of show you, the top here is booking page, photo, and name. I highly recommend you do not change this, because if you change it here, it's going to change it in your main account across all other Google apps. And I don't know if you want to do that. I'm sure you took a lot of time to pick and choose an appropriate picture in the first place. You don't want to have to do it again. Next is going to be location. First thing you need to do is this going to be a video conference or in person? These are in-person meetings. I will talk to you in a moment about doing a virtual meeting, because some parents will request that and they won't be able to make it. I'll explain that in a moment. But for now, you want to do in person. When it asks for a location, you can leave that blank, but I recommend putting your classroom, like, I'm not even sure what mine is. You can put whatever you want. If it comes up with a suggestion, I highly recommend you do not choose these, because these are actual locations linked to Google Maps. None of our locations here are rooms in AISK are in Google Maps. So if you select one of these, it will not be here. So just go ahead and write in what you want and leave it as is. That's fine. Next is description. In here is where you're going to create any instructions for parents, and this is where you're going to put in your virtual meeting link. Now you can use Google Meets, which I recommend, which is a school account, or you can use Zoom if you have I think we only have 5 accounts for school, so it's not going to be an account-owned one, so it's going to have to be your own personal one. I recommend using the school one because it's under our domain, we're responsible for it, and we can control it. So to do that, you're just going to go again to the 9 pin up here, and you're going to find Meet. It should look like this, a little camera, and if you click on that, it should open up a new window. In this window, you're going to see over on the left-hand side, it says New Meeting. When you select that, you're going to go create a meeting for later. What's really nice about this is when you create this meeting, you just need to create it once. And it stays forever as far as I understand, and you don't ever have to change it, and you can use it for everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy the joining info and go ahead and close this. This is linked directly to your account. So if I go back to the calendar, I'm going to paste it here, but I'll go ahead and paste it, but I want to kind of get rid of some of this stuff. Like, for example, I don't use the phone dialer, and sometimes that confuses parents, so I'm just going to delete that. And you can just leave as is, but if you want, you can write a little bit more in there talking about, using this meeting, what they might need, so on and so forth. For now, I'm just going to leave it as is. The next thing down is booking form. This is super important. In here, by default, it only gives you first name, last name, and email address. I myself am not familiar with all the families, and sometimes they have different last names. So what I would like to do is add an item. When you click on this, I'm going to go ahead and select custom item. And in this custom item, I'm going to put student name. Okay, I'm going to make this required, because if it's not there, I'm not going to know what student it is necessarily. So I'm going to add this item. Now you'll notice that it pops up here on the left-hand side. Some teachers might even want to add grade level, maybe if it's B or G, I don't know. It's up to you really what you want to add. There's no limit. You can add as many things as you want. I try to keep it brief so you don't overburden the parents. And that's about it. Do not require email verification. If you do that, some parents may forget. It just adds another layer of complexity that you don't necessarily have to have. Now for reminders, this is really, really nice. Everyone, you and the parents, will receive an email reminder in one day, but you can add reminders. And you could do it by day or per minute, or you can do custom. And you could add as many of these as you like. So I usually will add, a day prior so I can prepare myself. You might want to do even 10 minutes before or 5 minutes before, so it pops up on your computer. So if you're in a conference with another parent, you'll see that and quickly remind you that, oh, you got a 5-minute warning before the next parent is going to show up. And that's, so you can quickly, end the meeting. Once this is all set, you're going to go ahead and hit save, and it's going to open up this window here, which is just kind of a friendly reminder. Now, there's two things here. There's open booking page and see all your bookings. The open booking page, if I open that, is the booking page that the parents will see, and you yourself. The problem with this is it goes to today, and this actual booking is a couple of days further, a couple of weeks past. You'll see it over here. It's on the 26th and 27th. So you won't see any bookings here. So you're going to have to advance the weeks until you get to an actual one of the days where the bookings are. And you'll see all the booking times. Now, you will see the available slots, just like the parents. If it's booked, you will not see the time there. So for example, if I want to take a lunch break at 10 a.m., I can click on that. It automatically populates my name, my email address, and I could put the student name, just whatever. Or I could put lunch, for example, since this is going to be my lunch. And I'm going to book. And once you do that, you'll notice the time is gone. Actually, yeah, it's gone. 10 o'clock is now gone. So now it's not an option. I'm going to show you how you see all your bookings in a moment. But if you want to see what parents see in the upper left-hand corner, there's this link. If you click on that, this is what the parents will see. Now, they will also have to advance, and that's in the instructions that's sent to the parents, okay? Or they can just click on jump to next available date, and there you go. So it makes it quite easy. The video link is also here. It's already been populated because we included that in the actual description. And so that is that. Once again, if we go back to the appointment thing here, you'll see all bookings. If you have, for example, this will be useful if you have a elementary class division and you have a divisional secondary one, right? Middle school, high school. If you have two different divisions, two different categories of appointments, you can see them listed here, right? I have this test one that I created, and I have this one that I just created just now. So you can see, and you can jump back and forth to them just by clicking on that, okay? Now, the final thing that you have here is share. And this is really important because you have to click on this, and you have to copy the link down below. You could either copy it here or copy this one. And once you copy it, you're going to send that link to our special. You're not going to send, you're actually going to paste it in a document that I've created called PTC MSHS Fall 24-25. You can search for that in your Google Drive. You can note it right now. I'll send out an email with this as well. I'm going to share the document so you'll have it in your Google Gmail, or you can look in Google Drive for it. Go ahead and add your name to one of the boxes. Everyone will list them, and click in the box next to it, and you're going to paste your link. Once you do that, your job is done. The only thing you will need to do as a teacher is go back and check, whenever you want, as often as you like, the actual appointments. And to do that, I can just go back to you can just go to the Google Calendar. I don't need that open, just one second. I can go ahead and close that. And you'll go to the date, like the 26th or the 27th, and you'll notice on the 27th, there is one appointment already here. I booked it, so it's my name. You will see the list of every parent's name as it goes down, okay? And so if you click on it to open it up, you can see some information. And that's all you really need to see, I guess, on that. One other thing that I will mention is if you want to come in here and edit something, because there's like one thing I want to change right now, which I'll show you, you can always click on your appointment, and you can go to the Edit button in the upper right-hand corner of this little window that popped up. And when you click that, you get all the settings that you can see again, okay? And you can, go back and forth between them as you like. Now, somewhere in here, I believe it is under Calendar, you'll notice that it has a color here, and I can change this to a different color. This is important for me because I'm more visual, I believe, when I'm doing this. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. It makes it really easy for me to see when I'm advancing through my calendar, because I have a lot of appointments throughout the day, and sometimes it might hide from you and not be so obvious, so changing the color really helps. Besides that, that's really the simplicity of using this program. It's quite easy. If you have any questions, you can come see myself or Nathaniel. We can help you with this. Or, if it's in terms of, booking times or something like that, or what the duration is, or more the logistics of it, please go see Denise or Katie for elementary. And that's about it. Thank you.